Here we are with our initial screen. Let me take you through the interface. We just saw the menu and what you would have on your menu. All right. Below that, you have your window navigation or controllers. So you could close your window, minimize it, or maximize the size of it. Next to it, you have a little house icon. The house icon will take you to the home screen that we saw at the beginning. And then you have three options. You have the design, the prototype, and the share. So in the design, this is where you're actually adding all of the elements to your screens, right? Here's where you're controlling your layers, adding your characters, your colors, and creating components, or illustrating, or just adding images, whatever you need, right? When you change into the prototype, here's where you're actually linking screens and assets so that you can create the animation of um, your website. And then under the share, here's where you can actually, well, share um, your document with whoever you want. Okay, so and you can give them either um, for developing, for just reviewing, or just a presentation, or just testing. So you can set the preset of how this document will be used for whoever is viewing it. Okay, and that way you can work with them, or you can just do a testing, with your stakeholders and your user persona, so you can check how this is going to work. And then the link, only the invited people with a password or just a link, and it'll create a link and then just share it. Okay, we go back to design. At the top right hand side here, you have people that you can invite. So if I click on this, I can invite anyone to work on the documents that are saved into the cloud. So you have to save it to the cloud in order to share with them. See, here's saving to the cloud, so you can send a shared link. Here is where you can actually view your prototype into an actual device. All right, so I can connect this into uh, an iPhone or a Google phone or any type of Samsung through a USB and try the prototype on my actual phone. I will have to have download the XD mobile app into my phone in order to test it out. And in place where you would actually um, see an actual live example of what your website would look like, so you can actually test it out, and you can also record it your website as a video. So these are things that I'm going to be showing you in the next week when we're actually working in into the actual prototyping and designing of the website. Okay. On your left hand side, you have your tools. Okay, these are just regular shape tools. Like if you want to create a box, you see it has handles just like an Illustrator. You can round the corners there. All right. You have the move tool, which is this arrow. You have squares, circles, triangles, line tools. The pen tool works just like in InDesign as well. So you can just create shapes. Okay. Um, type tool is similar. Just click once and you can type whatever you like. All right. And you also have a page artboard tool. So with this, you can just click once, and here you just added a second page. Okay. And you have here a little search icon, a zoom icon, sorry, search icon doesn't We don't need it here. Zoom in and zoom out. I always use the keyboard, so that's why I never use the zoom icon basically. And if you go further down to the bottom, okay, right now you have your libraries. If you click on libraries, it is hidden. If not, it's shown. And you can, if you're connected to your Creative Cloud, you can add assets from the library. So you can add buttons, typography, colors, you just gotta browse on it. Here you have your layers. So anything that you add, you can group them in layers and they will all be here. Okay, and your plugins. So if you added plugins, you can install them straight from this icon. Usually you're gonna be working in the library or the layers mode. On the right hand side at the top, you have your alignment options. You have your arrangement options for repeated grid. This is when you have an asset and you want to repeat it so that you can create a scroll with the repeated grid. You also have your pathfinder here. You have components that you have created with different actions. So the components here, I can create rollover scrolls that do the different actions and go and react differently. Here I have my transformation, my layout. If I click here on the page, okay, I can make this a responsive resize, so it can respond to different screens. Here I have my scroll. The scroll is gonna be vertical or non-scrolling. So anything after the full line, which is 768, it would scroll in my animation. My appearance, which is my fill color, and here's my layout. So right now with my layout, if you see, I just have a blank canvas, but if I click on layout, now I have my grid, and I can adjust the grid to the specific measurements that are on the assignment. So here you have column width, and you have your margins, which are the left and the right margins. So this area, which is not the live area, you can adjust it and increase them. If I want a larger live area, okay, there it is. Now if you look at the live area, you have 243 and 239. That's because it added 4 more pixels for the scroll bar on this area. So this area is always going to be a little bit larger to compensate for where the actual scroll bar on the window will be. So this is an entire browser window basically. Okay, so there it is. In the next video, I'm gonna start adding assets from a UI kit and creating multiple pages of a wireframe.